Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Zach Plunk, and I have the privilege of being your professor this term for Principles of Marketing. This is a completely asynchronous online class, and we'll kind of start and end the class in the span of about 4 weeks. And so this is a really fast-paced course as we try to really condense a semester's worth of material into 4 weeks. So this is just a quick intro video to hopefully answer any questions you might have. Given that the nature of this class is completely asynchronous, we won't meet, we won't have any type of lectures to attend or classes to attend. And so I wanted to give you this video from the start to hopefully walk you through how this class is structured and to answer any questions you might have. So Principles of Marketing, from the title, you can tell this is a very basic theory-driven course where we learn how to kind of initially practice marketing. And so we cover a lot of theories, a lot of practices, a lot of principles of what marketing is and what it isn't and what it includes, and everything in between. And so there's not a lot of, hands-on application or practicing marketing yet in this class. If you move on into more specialized courses in marketing, that's where you get to actually apply what we learn in this class. But this class basically lays the foundation for what is to come, for how to practice marketing. Okay. And so before we jump into kind of how the course is structured, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself in terms of why am I qualified to teach this course. I have an undergraduate degree from Baylor in marketing and entrepreneurship. I have an MBA from Texas A&M, and then I have a PhD in marketing from the University of North Texas. And so you can see I've been studying, learning, researching about marketing for the last 10 or so years. And so aside from my journey in academia, I also run my own company. I consult from a marketing standpoint. And so I have a lot of outside practice as well in regards to the things that we're going to talk about in this class. Okay, so I also was born and raised in Texas. I love the beach, love to play disc golf. If anybody ever likes to play or wants to play, I'm always playing with students. Just come by my office. And then I love endurance sports. So I like to run. I like to, do triathlons, do marathons, things like that. So that's just a little bit about me, both from an academic side and a personal side as well. Okay, so again, before we jump into kind of the actual meat of the class, a few things that I want to communicate to you to where you can kind of understand where I'm coming from as a professor. What are my goals as a professor and for you in this class? The first and foremost, and this is across any class and with any students, is that I'm going to treat you like a human being. Now, what does this mean? I think we've all been in classes before where the professor expects you to treat their class like it's the only thing going on in your life. You're a college student, it's summertime, you're probably working, you have other things going on, you might be taking other classes. I know that this class isn't the only thing going on in your life, and it shouldn't be. Right? I would be concerned if this was the only thing you have going. And so know that I completely understand. I have other things going on as well. I'm taking trips, I'm going to, spend time with family, whatever it might be. And so know that I know that, and I will treat you like a human being. I don't expect you to prioritize this above everything else. Now, that being said, I do expect you to put forth a good effort, right? I mean, you chose to take this class, you chose to take it in a condensed form, which means that there's a lot of work packed into a short amount of time. And so I expect good work. Me saying I'm going to treat you like a human doesn't mean that I'm going to grade super easily or that I'm not going to have a high expectation of you. I do. But just know that I do typically treat students with understanding given certain circumstances, okay? The second is I don't want to waste your time. So while there's going to be a lot in these 4 weeks, I'm not trying to assign things to just give you busy work. Everything I assign has a purpose. It's either to make sure you looked through the book and read the book and looked through my materials. It could be to help you apply what you learned in the book, whatever it might be. So just know, even though there's a lot of stuff that's going to come in these next 4 weeks, it is not to just waste your time. It's not to just get a grade. It's to help you actually learn how to be marketers. This one is really important, especially in an online format. I'm going to do my best to communicate super clearly about all due dates, about all expectations, because I don't want ambiguity to be a stressor in this class. I don't get to be in front of you every day like I do in other classes during a normal semester. And so I've tried to set up the class in a way that is very structured and very repetitive so that you don't get confused. And then I'm always posting and posting announcements on Brightspace about reminders about things coming up that are due, about reminders or announcements that, hey, I just opened this new assignment. It's now available to you. And so I try to steer towards over communicating, especially in an online course. So it's my goal as a professor to communicate super clearly and even over communicate so that there's no confusion about certain things. Okay, so as a result, you need to I need you to make sure that you are checking announcements on Brightspace every day. That is my main method of communicating with you. I'm not going to email all of you separately. I'm going to post on Brightspace announcements. So make sure you're checking those. I'm going to provide you with an applicable knowledge of marketing, right? So this is a theory-driven class, not super applied, but some of the assignments that I have are to help you actually apply the theories and the principles that we're learning, okay? And then finally, I want to be a resource for you. So I'm not going to get to meet you, face to face and interact. But if there's ever anything I can do for you, reach out to me. I won't really be on campus during this month, but reach out to me, email me. I want to help you however I can. And so just know that these are kind of my goals as a professor: to treat you like a human being, to not waste your time, to over communicate, to give you an applicable knowledge of marketing, and to ultimately help you succeed. Okay. So the book is crucial. Again, you're not going to get to be in class with me as we go through all this stuff. And so the book is crucial. And this is the book. It's called Marketing: An Introduction by Gary Armstrong and Philip Kotler. It's a little bit older, so it's a little bit cheaper. But there you have the title, the ISBN number, and everything there. So just, make sure based on the picture and everything else that you get the right book. Because the book will be crucial to your progress and your success in this class. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to Brightspace, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to walk through how the class is set up, right? So mine might look a little bit different than yours, right? I mean, we don't have any announcements. Here's my little intro about me. But it's like every other Brightspace page. Okay, and so really everything stems from the content tab. And obviously you've navigated to this start here tab where you're watching this video. But everything that you will need to complete this semester, this term, this month is right here, and it's in these modules. So we have 7 modules that we have to get through in 4 weeks. Okay, and every module is set up pretty much exactly the same. Okay, so we'll go to module 1 and 2 first. And this is kind of the intro to the class. We're looking at, defining marketing and the marketing process. Okay, and so every module will have an overview, as you'll see right here. It'll have a materials page, and then it will have some type of assignment. So we'll start with the overview page first. The overview page gives you a couple of things. It gives you learning objectives. So what are we trying to accomplish in this module? And then we'll also have a to-do list. So in this module, we want to complete the introduction assignment. We want to read chapters 1 and 2 of the textbook. We need to go over the supplementary materials, which is on the next page. I'll show you. We need to take the quiz for this week, and we need to complete the application assignment. So typically we have a few different types of assignments. We have a quiz, which is mainly just, did you read the textbook and go over the materials that I provide? Okay, it's not really application based. It's, did you remember what you read? And then we normally have some type of application assignment where it's not just regurgitating information, it's applying information that you learn. Okay, that's normally in some type of discussion, but it could be a case study or something like that as well. Okay, so every module starts with an overview. And then we go to the materials page. And this is where I give you extra information, either something that the book didn't cover that I think it should, whether it be something that just needed to expound upon or explain more. So it normally will be some type of video just like this, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And it also might be a couple of other things to read. Okay. So you need to not only read your textbook, but also go over this supplementary materials page. And then you have the assignment. So here's the self-introduction. Here is the quiz for module 1. Here's the application assignment for module 1. And then here we go, module 2 overview. Same thing. We have our learning objectives and we have our to-do list. Okay. Now, when we look at the overview for the modules, you will also see due dates at the very bottom. So here it says on the overview page, all assignments in modules 1 and 2 are due on June 14th at 11:59. So that's in 2 weeks. So typically you'll have 2 weeks to complete assignments. Please note that anything after this due date won't be accepted, right? So this is where it kind of goes on you to be responsible. I give you some leeway in terms of some flexibility of when you can complete assignments. The assignments are open for you to complete, but if you miss the assignment due date, I can't do much for you. Okay, so I understand. Like I said, things come up. You might be taking a trip. You might get sick. Your computer might shut down. Whatever it might be, and that's why I give you a lot of time to complete assignments. So like I said, most of the time you get 2 weeks to complete a certain module at a time. And so if you come to me the day after something's due and say, hey, my computer shut down last night, my response to you is going to be, you had 2 weeks to do this assignment. I can't be fair to everybody else in the class by giving you extra time because you waited till the last minute to do it and then you had computer issues. You have 2 weeks to complete these assignments. I would recommend not waiting till the last minute. Not only will that ensure that you don't have a computer issue and then you miss a due date, but there's also a lot of things you need to do. And so waiting till the last minute, you're going to probably end up doing lower quality work and you run the risk of missing due dates. So I wouldn't recommend it. But when you're looking at what is due at what time, look at the overview page and you'll see all of the assignments in modules 1 and 2 are due on June 14th. Okay, so going back to modules 1 and 2, that would be your introduction assignment, your quiz for module 1, your application for module 1, and then your quiz for module 2 and your application assignment for module 2. Okay, all those are due on June 14th by the end of the day. And so that's module 1 and 2. You go to module 3 and 4, it's the exact same thing. Module 3 overview, your assignments, the materials page, module 4 overview, the materials, and your assignments. Okay. Make sure you read all instructions for the assignments. Sometimes I'll give you tips on how to complete it or something like that. But if you ever have any questions as you're going through the assignments, let me know for sure. And that's really it. Everything is due, the term ends on June 28th. And so you'll see module 7, you have a last quiz that's due on June 28th, and you have a final exam, which is a writing assignment that's due on June 28th. And then that's it. I get asked all the time in any type of class, how do I succeed in this class? In my opinion, the best way to succeed in this class is to not wait to the last minute. Do not procrastinate. Every module has 2 to sometimes 4 assignments in it, on top of having to read a couple of chapters in the textbook. So if you're trying to do that all the day before all of it's due, you're not going to make it. It's going to be unpleasant. You're not going to do well in the class because it reflects in your work. And so I recommend, you have 2 weeks to do assignments. Break it up, right? I mean, it's more sustainable if you just do a little bit every day. And I know you hear this from everybody, but it really does make a difference. And again, if you miss due dates, I can't help you because I give you so much time to complete assignments. So please hear me when I say that, because I'll always say it, that I can't take late work, and then I'll always get emails about accepting late work. And my response is going to be, you had 2 weeks to do it. I'm sorry, basically. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Let me stop sharing really quick. Please let me know. I'm always happy to answer emails. Like I said, I won't be on campus during the semester, but I'll have my computer. I'll answer emails. I'll be posting announcements. I want it almost daily, probably, but if not, probably every other day or every third day or something like that. But here as a resource for you, like I said, and this will be a great class. It's a lot of work in a short amount of time, but you can do it. Don't get behind, stay on top of it, and we'll be good. All right. Let me know if I can help you. Reach out to me through email. And if not, I'll just see you throughout the class. All right.